Morning.
Hi, good morning.
You moved again. You're not in
I
a
have, and I think this is going to have, oh my God, I can see my face. Yeah, it's very busy. I'm going to have to choose a different background that is pretty busy. But yeah, the sun in my face just means I can't see properly or concentrate. And yeah, and I thought, well, I'll try it again.
Nice. Well, bookcases, they're the Zoom thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
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 I don't know what it is about everyone, whether they purposely think I must sit in front of a bookcase, but that's what everybody does on the news.
I was thinking though that for next week when I do my workshops, I'm going to try find, because I'm on Microsoft Teams, I'm going to just get a very plain background, I think.
Yeah,
Because I think one of the things I've been reading about Zoom fatigue on part for next week is how if you spend, all day, like a lot of them are doing, all day back-to-back Zoom meetings, it's actually quite tiring for the brain to because you also look at yourself a lot more, but you're also looking at people's backgrounds, which you do. So it's a little bit distracting and it just takes up more brain space.
Interesting.
So we'll see. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm physically tired today, but I'm good. I just had 2 really busy days at the garden centre.
Oh, yeah.
Got so many deliveries, so many plants came in that need moving and containers and
Yeah. Good for fitness, like strength.
Yeah, no, it is. And I can feel the difference. I mean, I started a year ago. It was supposed to be for the season.
Yeah.
And they kept me on. But I remember last year when I started, oh my God, even just sweeping up at the end of the day, I could barely do it for more than 5 minutes. It was so exhausting.
Yeah.
And now we're getting busy again like we were last year. And obviously my fitness levels have increased because it's not as hard. Yeah, it's a real workout.
Yeah. Well, it's important for us at our age. Not that you're as old as me, but to do weight bearing.
No,
stuff.
it is. It is. Yeah. No, I'm very glad. I'm very glad to be doing it, and that's part of the enjoyment of it. I love being outdoors. I love being in nature. And like you said last week, I get paid to do that, which is just wonderful. And it is nice because I don't have to go exercise somewhere else. I just get my exercise there. So
yay.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's a nice balance. I mean, I like that you've got that physical thing where it just is all physical, and then you've got the contrast of the work that you do where your brain has to be engaged.
Yeah. I'm very lucky with it. I really scored. And when I applied, because I was at the garden centre one day, it's just down the road from where we live, and I was thinking I need a part-time job, and it was really to integrate me into the community, because I'd been here for I think 3 years at that time, didn't really have friends down here. You just want people you can chat to in your community, in your vicinity. So I thought it would be good for that. And the only position they had available was working on the tills. And I thought, well, do you know what? I'm so desperate. I'm just going to do that. And I'm so glad that position was filled, because I wouldn't have stuck it out for more than a day, I'm sure. And then they said to me, there's positions open in plants, and am I interested?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very, very lucky. I'm super grateful for it.
Yeah. Nice. Full time. But are you still feeling like, where's your scale?
Yeah, I'm still a 9.
Nice.
I am feeling physically tired. I can feel my body, because it's been a pretty intense 2 days, and I'm feeling slightly, and I want to be careful about the wording, because it can feel, anxious and excitement could be the same feeling. I've got 3 days till the first workshop on Monday, and I haven't done one of them before, and I need to just finish. I haven't quite finished writing, and I've got a little bit more to do after I speak to you this morning, and then I can start running through it and, you know, fine tuning it.
Yeah.
And in the old days, as I've mentioned before, I would probably panic, procrastinate, not be prepared. And then if it doesn't go well on Monday, it's not my fault because I didn't really prepare for it. And my mindset, Shirley, has changed completely about that. You know, I journaled this week that I'm prepared to just work so hard, which I did on Tuesday, work so hard and just give it my all and not be worried about the outcome, and know that that doesn't mean anything about my self-worth or anything like that. You know, I'm prepared to try.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't think I've ever done that before.
Yeah, that is something, and it is, you know, it's that you've had the awareness, and then moving from the awareness into actually changing something that you choose to change.
Yeah, and it's been a conscious decision, you know, to do it. And I was thinking about it during the week. The reason why I've never had agency, and I've always wondered, like, how do you get it, and how do other people have it, and why don't I have it? I couldn't quite work it out, but it is that thing of changing. When you said to me, it sounds like I've changed from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And that allows you, that is the equivalent of agency, that, you know, they go hand in hand. And no wonder I never had agency, or I didn't know how to get it. I couldn't get a grasp of it. I couldn't understand why I wasn't excited about the future, or not, or just sort of resigned. That's the word, you know, resigned to whatever, plodding.
Yeah.
And that must have been really the fixed mindset. Whereas in the work with you, and it really is only because of the work with you, you know, your magic higgery pokery has opened that up to, you know, and I've read about growth mindset before, I was completely aware of it before. But there has been a shift, which I'm so fucking grateful for. Been waiting for that my whole life. Yes, and, you know, and I am a bit nervous for Monday, and rightly so. I should be, because, you know, everybody gets nervous before they present. And of course, I know once I start, I'll be absolutely fine. But none of it feels as crippling, and none of it makes me want to procrastinate. I'm fully committed to giving it my all, to trying.
Brilliant. So is this with a client you've worked with before, or is this a new one?
Yeah, I think about three, gosh, it's coming 17, 18, 19, 20. My first workshop, I can't believe it's 4 years. I thought it was 3 years. The first workshop I ever did for anybody was with them. I did mental health first aid stuff for them, a 2-day. No, it wasn't a 2-day. That was also a 2-hour workshop. So yeah, I've done with them before, and they're the ones I've been doing the talks with every month. We've got another talk with them this month. And it's funny because I don't really have that close a relationship with the person, the HR person. She's changed once or twice. I don't know them like I know 2 of my other clients really well. We have been into the office all the time for massage or for workstation assessments, and I know them on a personal basis. These I don't, but in the hierarchy, somewhere up there, somebody up there must value mental health.
Well, not, yeah.
And I'm not sure who it is, but, you know, they've had me back for quite a bit of stuff now.
Yeah, so that's more than valuing mental health. That's about excuse me, I'm just fidgeting onto a seat. Jumping here.
I know, you're just getting lower and lower.
Yeah.
Oh, shush, you twats. Go to bed.
Yeah, I have a standing desk, so most of the time I'm standing, but I just thought I'd sit, and it's on a stool. So, but I might stand again, so I'll be doing a bit of this. But what I was saying is, it's not just about them valuing mental health, it's about them valuing you. Someone there, you know, clearly whatever feedback they're getting is consistent. They must be consistently getting feedback that says, oh, this is the person you want to run this. So not that you now need external validation.
I do. Say it again. Yes. You know, I often do that, and I do that all the time, you know, just saying they must have someone that thinks mental health is important. But yeah, they have come back to me every time.
Yeah. And they're coming back to you for something new as well. That is extreme confidence and validation of you and your skill and the way you do things, that they go, oh, we've got this new thing. Oh, I know. Let's just ask Rose.
It's actually based on work I did with one girl. I've been doing work with her for a few months last year, and she gave good feedback to them about the work with me, and they got in touch and said, the stress stuff, management stuff that you've been doing with her, we want to offer it up to the company. So it is actually based on, and I should acknowledge that. Should acknowledge it and celebrate it, and not just, you know, nah.
Yeah. You can acknowledge it, but also that can use that to kind of bring that confidence up through you into the course you're doing on Monday, to kind of increase your sense of confidence about how well you're going to do it. Because 80% of the confidence is already there.
Yeah.
And the 20% that's left is simply you putting together the pieces of the jigsaw in the way that you're going to deliver it. In fact, not the way you're going to deliver, but what you're going to deliver. But actually, it's all there. All you're doing is assembling pieces.
Yeah, it's true.
And as you know, it's not the pieces that you assemble that get the repeat bookings, that get the impact. It's how you convey those pieces.
Yeah, that's what my mother said to me. She said, now don't forget, she says, show expression on your face. You know, if you're excited, then show it. And if she's true. She used to be a drama teacher as well. You know, she's all about expression. But yes, and that is something that I do know, and I am aware of, maybe less so with them because I don't feel like I have a personal connection one-to-one with a specific person there. But with some of my other clients, I wonder, so that's interesting. So, because some of my other clients, I know that they have me back again and again because it's me, you know, not the work I do, because it's me. But actually, this client is exactly the same. Just because I don't have just because I'm not texting or friends with one person that works there, it's the same thing. They're still getting me back because it's me.
Yeah.
I like that.
Exactly. So that's another reason to take confidence into Monday, because the core piece that makes this worthwhile for them and for you is you. And there's no way you can take that piece out, because that's what they're going to get no matter what.
Yes.
You are the magic. I mean, isn't that lovely? It's you that's the magic.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling it. I'm getting it, and I do understand it on a level, and I think it's part of how I'm going to say previously been, because I don't want to go forward being like that anymore, but quite dismissive about my achievements or capabilities. In the past, because I'm going to leave it in the past, it has been, oh, it must have happened because of good luck, or, you know, right place, right time, or I mean, those things are valid in their own, but in my heart, I do truly know really that I have been the catalyst, the person to make it happen.
Yeah.
And it's because of me. And I need to acknowledge that. I want to acknowledge that more and really feel it.
Yeah. Well, so I said on Tuesday that this week is we're at our halfway point. We're just moving into the second half of this particular program. And you're at a 9. So it is time, I think, that we start exploring what you want from your life rather than what you're trying to overcome and resolve, which is really nice. Doesn't mean there's never anything, you know that. But, you know, we can start anywhere. What you're constructing your life, you can start with a clean slate if you like. What do you want in it? And we can start with like just this week. Get yourself comfortable with it. We can paddle in the shallows if you like, or we can go, oh no, but what's up at the deep end? We can go where feels like a comfortable place to look at the future. Is it just starting with this week or something even bigger?
Jesus, oi! Play fighting. They're making so much noise.
I can't hear
sound
it.
very weird on video. Jesus, oi!
I know. I can't.
I'll tell you, the dog's name is Baby Jesus, the Black Dachshund.
I've never known anyone name a pet after.
Stop it now. Stop being naughty. I suppose one thing that comes to mind, and this is maybe where the agency thing has come in before. I have felt in the past, getting less so, I have felt in the past that there's kind of a split or a divide in me. That there are so many, that there are things that I would like to be doing, but that my default, I feel, and I don't know if it's just the last 10 years, I don't think I've always been like that. I think it's the last sort of 10 hormonal years where the default has been to withdraw, to isolate, to not partake of the world, to not be involved in my life on a conscious level. And I was thinking about this the other day. Gosh, when I was younger, I mean, okay, there were drugs and alcohol involved, but you know, I used to do so much. I used to go to movies and theatre, and I used to do my life drawing classes, and I mean, you are different things, but I was just more involved with the external world. And I don't think it's living here in the countryside. I think I started withdrawing in London. And I think I would like, yeah, part of me would like to be, I don't know what it is, active, not active, physically active, but I just want to be more out there and less in here. I mean, I like reading and I love chilling. You know, reading's my big love. I could happily read all day, and that's fine. And there's times where you can read all day and it's fine. But I kind of feel like I want to be more active in the outside world. And I've got interests. Maybe this is what I'm trying to say, is I've got interests, but I don't always follow them up. Yeah, I'm not really sure what this is about, but
No, that's all right.
Just talking about it will help. I know what I am aware of is that in the last sort of 4 years, have met Chris and living here with Chris. He hasn't until very recently been active in his life. He doesn't play an active role in his. life, and without a doubt there's been knock-on effects to me, because you kind of, you know, you gather the energy around you affects you. So I'm far more aware of that now, and I'm doing stuff regardless. I feel like I've you know, it's like a new relationship. You kind of orbit and orbit and orbit, and then you find your feet again, and off you go. So I'm not even going to say that he's part of it, although no, that's fine, because I need to do what I need to do.
So if you're being active and out there, what are the kind of things that you would like to be doing? Even if you don't have to think, I'm definitely planning to do it. Just random stuff.
God, I miss going to exhibitions. You know, I miss culture, really. I miss going to exhibitions. I miss going to independent movies. I mean, we do go, before COVID, we did go to movies, but we have to see stuff, you know, we both like, which it's limited. So I miss kind of that culture. I was even thinking the other day, God, I miss all my gay friends from when I was younger and partying and stuff, because the conversations are always so interesting, and the dinner parties, and it was that kind of mindset that, and architecture, and just this, you know, I'm interested in architecture, which is why most of my clients are architects. I've always been interested in architecture. I love buildings. I've got a whole book on concrete behind me. I love concrete. I love design. So it's not that I want to be an architect or design a house, but, you know, if there's an exhibition on somebody's work, or there's some fabulous drawings an architect has done, I want to make the effort to go see it. And because that stuff is all the juicy stuff that adds to your life, you know, that's where all the flavor comes in. And I feel like I haven't been adding anything. And I do know, I mean, to be fair, when I lived in London, you know, I was there for 30 years in South London. And because I'm definitely more a country girl, and I like peace and quiet and no noise and big crowds or whatever. And because London is London, if you go to a retrospective or even a new exhibition or something, you standing 6 people deep. You can go at 10 o'clock to the Tate on a Friday night. It's just as busy as what it would be at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. And that was the reason, whenever I went to go visit my sister in Vienna, I'd always go to the galleries there, because you can actually stand in front of a piece of art. You know, and that also sounds like an excuse, but it's also the truth. Maybe that had something to do with the maybe it comes from my circle of, I don't know, circle of friends. I'm still friends with friends in South Africa, where I could make more of an effort to be connected and have good conversations, and I don't make the effort. And I think it's really my, you know, I've lived here for 30 years, but I think it really is my friends in South Africa. That was the predominant gay crowd, architectural crowd, theatre crowd, always interesting stuff going on, always good conversations. And yes, I mean, you know, there's alcohol and drugs involved, but it's definitely not just, it's not just that. There's just interesting stuff going on. And I kind of feel, I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't know what I mean.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're you know, we're paddling here. We're just paddling. That's all. Yeah.
Even things like, can I just say one more thing? Even things like, I love walking, I love hiking. I have been doing it more and more since I've lived down here, and I was doing it from London. I was coming out to Guildford and to Dorking and stuff and doing walks from here. So I have made inroads, but I could do so much I feel like I could do so much more, and I'd like to be the kind of person that does, whether I set off on my own or arrange to meet with someone, you know, but go off and do a hike somewhere. I'd love to do like a, you know, I'm not fit enough at the moment, but I'd love to do like a week or 4 or 5 day hike and sleep over in huts. And even that would just make me so happy. I love being outdoors. I love being physical. I mean, I'm not unfit, but I'm not super fit at the moment. But I could be again.
When you were super fit, what was it that was making you, what were you doing that was keeping you super fit before?
Well, there were two when I lived in London, but not for the last 10 years. There's about a 10 or 12 year period that I used to cycle.
Okay.
So in my all of my 20s into my 30s, I cycled in London, and I always lived South London. I worked North London. I would cycle. I mean, that was my transport, you know, whether it was a party or shopping or whatever, gallery, that was my transport. So I was fit then, and I was younger then. And then I also ran for a few years. I ended up doing a marathon in Berlin.
Oh, wow.
Which was great. Yeah, but it was too soon. I was, you know, bit off all that country. It was too soon, and I knackered my knee, and I didn't. I was pretty sore for about 2 years after that, and then haven't really ever got back into it. And now I'm too worried to even try because of my hysterectomy.
Why?
That kind of jogging motion, you know, it's quite hard on the feet, and yeah, I mean, I had some issues last year to go see a women's health physiotherapist, which is why my hours are slightly reduced at work, and I wasn't allowed to carry heavy stuff. So I'm on the mend again, and I'm sure eventually I can, but I'm a bit nervous of going back to horse riding or running, really.
What about the cycle?
Oh God, not in the countryside. You guys are mad. I don't know how anybody cycles out here. It's far safer in London. People always say to me, they can't believe I, you know, cycled in London. It must be so dangerous. It's more dangerous out here, I feel. There's no, you know, in London you have designated paths, or more designated paths. You can't go fast. The cars never go fast because you can't. Here they speed past you, and it's curvy roads like this, and there's hedges, and yeah, I don't feel confident or that I would want to cycle here.
Okay.
Because I used to cycle to work. I haven't cycled, go out for a ride, come back.
Yeah.
I was fit, but a bit like the garden centre at the moment, it was part of my day. I had to get to work, I had to go shopping, I had to go to movies, so I was just on my bike, you know, the whole time. Maybe all this as well, I mean, it's good we're talking about it, maybe all of this as well will come because of the fact that I have starting to have faith and agency. Maybe that's also been part of the reason of things falling away is, you know, what's the point, or you can't really shape your future. So
well, we are now.
Oh, I love it. I'm so excited. God, my face looks so white with this background. I've gone from you can barely see me to I'm the same color as the walls.
Well, in actual fact, I'm probably really white. It's just that because there's a yellow.
No, you've got a glow. You look like you've got more brown on you than I've got.
I don't think I have. I think it's just the lighting in the room. You know, if it becomes too bright, I go, oh. You know.
Yeah, no, I don't like bright either.
In fact, if I turned
we
off
can
this
see
light,
each other.
You'd see I'm not doing it.
Oh.
Right, so shaping your future, yes. That's what we're starting.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Isn't it?
Mm.
isn't it?
Absolutely. I had no idea when I signed up that this would be part of the process, and I'm super excited about it.
It is really exciting, and it's something that, you know, I don't, you know, maybe I should big it up a bit, as they say. But because everyone's journey is the same, you know, some people will get to this point where you are now. That some people, that will take the whole 12 weeks to do that. But what's lovely is that it hasn't, you know, it hasn't.
So glad.
I find it quite exciting, you know, because it is lovely to, you know, I think in the past I've kind of just worked with people and then gone, right, off you go, you know, like, you're ready
Yes.
now, out the nest, off you go, now you fly, but actually going, oh no, let's do flying lessons together, kind of thing is quite
the guidance is good. I mean, that's why we've come to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
really is for guidance, so it's wonderful.
Yeah. Wow. What's you don't have your lovely chair where you are. Where are you going to be sitting today?
I think I'm going to be sitting right here where I am and not move. Because if I get into the chair, which is just there, they will hear and come jump on me, and I'm getting a bit stricter with them. But what I am going to do is put this back on and just close my eyes.
Nice. Can I just ask you, has the sound quality been all right this morning?
Yeah, perfect. Why, did you have problems?
No, there were just a couple of moments where there was a time lag between, you know, sound and vision, where I was seeing something and hearing.
What? No, with me?
No, it's fine now, but just
a
few times it was like that. Right. Okay. Bear with. You comfy? Good. So as you close your eyes, you're in a different space physically, but you know that the space you inhabit within your mind and your body, you take with you wherever you go. So to begin with, who knows what thoughts might be running through your mind? You might choose to fine-tune them or just allow them to continue to run. Not worried about where they go, what they do. Just allowing yourself to gently open up to any shift in feeling or sensation or thoughts that shape your thinking. Allow yourself to gently be perhaps reflective, perhaps doing that extraordinary thing for a while of splitting and dividing your attention from how you feel within your body to where your thoughts go, to times in the past, old days, and times in the future, shaping your future, but gently. Like a sculptor starting with a fresh piece of clay, with no shape to begin with, just gently, having no intention whatsoever, but gently molding, working with the clay, feeling it in your hands, feeling where the clay chooses to move. And maybe as you do that, thoughts continue to cycle through your mind, running through. Fine-tuning could happen straight away or later. Even in the space of a few minutes, your mindset can change completely. Consciously, a decision you take, or unconsciously, just allowing yourself to momentarily withdraw from the external world. Just isolate your thoughts and cycle through shapes, transporting yourself from one place to another, choosing. Perhaps running through your entire life in your mind's eye as you shape your future and divide your time with revisiting a flavour of life as it has been, the interesting moments, the independence, just walking or hiking through moments, fragments of connected memories, taking shape, creating shape, crafting the clay, not necessarily having any intention of the shape it will take, the shape of the future, held there in your hands, but feeling the delicious connection, feeling the sensation of the clay as you work it and mold it and softly engage with it and allow it to be one with you, shaping, taking shape, making the shape, physical shape, transporting you and your thoughts, your mind and your body, capturing moments, flavors, deliciously adding flavor. One moment out there in the physical, outdoors, standing in front, out front. I wonder what it feels like to stand out front, out there, doing stuff regardless, just allowing yourself to be out there, shaping your future, transporting yourself out there, standing in front, out front. Whether there's theatre and drama, culture, I wonder what the architecture is of your being, what is the makeup, whether it is concrete and fixed or fluid and shaped like clay, or whether you cycle from one to another, comfortable with dividing parts of you, different parts of you, consciously or unconsciously opening up fresh, new pathways, shifts in thinking. Taking your mind from the present and just expanding, constellating, like stars opening up in a universe, drawing from life, your life, the external world meeting the internal world, divided but not split, just engaging consciously or unconsciously, involved in what you'd like to be doing, involved in life from time to time, withdrawing to consider, to shape your future, your thoughts, not worried about outcomes or incomes, consciously deciding, no longer resigned, but opened up, shifted. Waiting your whole life was worth it for this moment, where you're fully committed to nothing more than you, physically, the whole of you fully committed, taking shape, creating the shape, crafting with the clay, creating shape and meaning, allowing thoughts to continue to cycle as they will, easily, cycling with them, transported from one moment to the next, from the present to the future, bringing the future into the present, shaping it now, adding meaning and flavor and color, artistry. Your life becoming this piece of art, this work of art, becoming the theatre and the exhibition, becoming the subject of the exhibition, building on the firm foundations that you've created of your own architecture of thought, of life, of meaning, shaping life architecting your very own life, shifting. No longer on shifting sands, uncertain beneath your feet, but firm, concrete, solid foundations upon which you build, shaping, cycling through thoughts, transporting you from one place to another, involved in your own life, giving it flavor and meaning, doing so much more, adding texture, shape. Just stepping out for a moment in your mind's eye, stepping into the future, standing in front, out front, getting a feel for what it's like out there in the future, your future, building on those concrete, solid foundations, doing stuff regardless, orbiting your own world, finding your feet, not locked in the concrete, but standing firm on the concrete, finding your feet, exploring this independent world of yours, your independence. Perhaps stimulated by conversations that take place in your own mind, interesting conversations that may change your mindset completely, fine-tuning, running through moments and memories, times and places, people, friends, dinner, parties, exhibitions. Making the effort without effort, just firm on those foundations of concrete as you design and construct a fresh new architecture. And the delicious thing about this architecture of your present and your future that you shape and shift, that you've been waiting your whole life to fully commit to, but now you commit, is you can reshape in any way or any time you choose, cycling through different versions of your future, choosing one future now and another future tomorrow, opening up, no longer resigned, shifting your thoughts. Conscious decisions led by unconscious trust on the firm foundations of your being, the delight as you find your feet and orbit through the exhibition of your life, piece by piece, the artistry, walking from time to time, just slowing the pace down and walking rather than running through your thoughts of the present, mapping onto the future, molding and shaping like the clay. Perhaps you cycle back. Perhaps there's one recurrent thought that demands attention, that gives greater meaning, perhaps is a keystone in your architecture. And you allow yourself to explore, cycling back or allowing your unconscious mind, your mindset that's changed completely, will continue to change completely as you open up, shift to the place you've been waiting your whole life to be, to do, involved in your own life, creating, consciously shaping your future, the physical and the metaphysical, indoors and outdoors, within your body, outside your body. Exploring as you draw on your thoughts, life drawing a picture, perhaps you discover yourself, not just locked in the physical, but the architecture of who you are, somehow moving into the space around you, surrounding. Finding yourself beyond yourself, standing in front, out there, in the external world as well as the internal world. drawing on life, life drawing, shaping your future. No longer subject to the whims or desires of the external world, but shaping, choosing, allowing your thoughts to cycle firm in those firmly laid concrete foundations, designing, discovering keystones in this fresh architecture. Exhibitions here, conversations there, independence, governing, and sometimes slowing things down, just walking through. Sometimes speeding things up, gaining greater confidence, fine-tuning as you cycle through processes, thoughts, being, running through, discovering aspects of you hadn't really paid much attention to in the past, and discovering them like an archaeologist at a dig, discovering that those aspects are actually keystones that shape the architecture of your life, your future. Some of those keystones are there in the outdoors, physical and real and connected, standing out front, interesting. How others make inroads into your inner world, no longer resigned but opened up, shifted, and no longer quite clear whether there is a split or a divide, or simply sections that interconnect in a way the logical mind makes no sense of, but your unconscious mind, your spirit, connects, can see the connections in the architecture between the rooms, no longer split or divided, but connected through culture and laughter. And maybe in those moments standing out front, physically there in the outdoors, transporting yourself perhaps to a hut out in the wilderness, experiencing the openness, the space, the sky opening before you, the land, all you survey is space and nature. Your nature opened up, shaping your future, gaining a flavor, this juiciness of agency, no longer isolated, but there at your feet, standing out front, proud out there, actively drawing on everything that life has given you, finding the cornerstones, the keystones of the architecture you create in shaping your future consciously and unconsciously. Discovering by simply opening up to yourself, to your mind, to your body, new meaning, new shapes, the building that is your mind and body, the very essence and flavor of you, the theater of dreams, dreams becoming the essence and the flavor, the reality of you, of who you are, of where you go, shaping, involved, fully committed, opened up and shifted into a completely new mindset that takes you into and through interesting conversations in your mind, walking and hiking, discovering the artistry in the building and doing stuff regardless, just being out there. And sometimes enjoying the inner world, but discovering the inner world is just as expansive and out there as the outer world, the culture, the conversation, the theatre, all joined in this expansive world built on these rock solid concrete foundations, and rebuilding and redesigning the architecture, the shape of your future from the ground up. And the space is limitless. So whether you have a sense now of standing out front, out there, of hiking, or just still connected with a piece of art ahead of you, within you, whether you simply feel connected to the clay as you mold, or the bricks as you piece together the building, the theatre of your life, or whether you find yourself running into the future, shifting and shaping, fully committed to nothing more than you and life itself. So transport yourself once again. Just recenter. Solid, finding your feet and the foundations, concrete, firm, solid foundations. Bring a flavour and a sense of the future which exists in the present. No need to choose. Just be with who you are, locking together the present and the future, and crafting with the clay, or simply being open, your mind free to hike and wander, to walk and to run, to cycle through thoughts and moments, connecting past and present and future, and bringing it into this extraordinarily beautiful theatre of the space in which you hold yourself now, bigger than before, expansive and open, committed. And whatever thoughts or feelings or sensations you bring back, allow yourself to notice just one that becomes a keystone. So slowly take your time. Remain connected to your present and your future, to the shape, to the architecture, the theatre, to everything that is you and what you choose. And continue with your day just as it was, slowly opening your eyes.
Mm. Hmm.
Oh, sorry. Here we go.
Have a look. Watch. Let me just show you.
Oh, they're in your chair.
And they're on there with the blanket regardless. Maybe it's your voice now, not even me in the chair. They look very chilled.
Did they just climb up then while we were?
They've been there for the last sort of 10, 15 minutes, I think.
Oh, bless.
They did a lot of running around and being crazy, and then they relaxed and came and sat there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that was lovely. That feels all very exciting and full of possibility.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's really lovely.
Yeah.
Full of possibility. Yeah, it makes me excited about the future.
Good.
Hmm.
I think it's lovely. And I think, you know, we talked before about the way I construct these sessions, or I use like stuff you give to me, but I'm increasingly, I believe that it's not just the words that have meaning, because they do, you know, unconscious phrases that you perhaps use, but also I think to some extent the interests that you have are also, it's like your unconscious is trying to show you the way, like things that you're interested in. I just thought, oh, look at these metaphors here, you know, the concrete, like there's your solid foundation.
I know, I was thinking about that as well. I was like,
I know. And things like pottery, like you're shaping something,
sculpting.
you're building something.
Yeah.
And there's all this drive within you, it seems, to create this, whatever it is.
To lay the foundation and create and go up. Yeah. No, I get that. I got that. I got that as well. And, you know, you were saying it's not just the words, but what we were saying earlier about my work, you know, I'm not just employed because of the work, but it's because of me. And the same thing with you and these sessions you do with me, it's the way you say it and the emotion you put in your voice. You know, somebody else could be reading your script and it wouldn't be the same. It's very much because it's something you convey, that you believe in it and it works, and this is your, you know, this is your work and something that you feel deeply about, and that comes across, which is really lovely.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah,
definitely, very much so.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I was already thinking, oh, I might listen to that later again.
do you know, I don't think, I'm not sure I've posted, I know we didn't do the hypnosis on Tuesday, but I'm not sure I've actually uploaded that one yet. So
No, I only looked this morning because I've been quite busy and I didn't see that one. And I only know because I was still in my kind of pajamas lounge wear, and I saw the one with the green jumper, so I don't think the next one's on yet. I mean, it all sounds, you know, it all sounds great, but I never get time to go back. I don't know where the time's supposed to come from, but
I'm like that. I mean, you know, I have my coaching sessions with my coach, and I always prefer to be there live, because with the best will in the world,
there's just so much to do. We've got so much.
I know.
And I think as well, just technology and the world that we live in, that we are pulled in so many different directions. And I've been realizing more and more recently that a lot of my overwhelm in the last few years has correlated, I think, with how technology has picked up and how we connected the whole time. And now I don't reply to messages right away. I don't look at Facebook except for you and my other group. I don't have Instagram on my phone. I have to go in and find it and look at something if I want to. I've gone from having my phone off at night and in the morning, so I don't look at it first thing, to recently, last couple of months, switching it off. You know, it used to be for an hour, to now sometimes I play with it for a whole day, and it's so, I can just feel my heart calms down, my heart rate calms down, my breathing calms down. And I think I'm not made for this connectedness the whole time.
But I don't think anybody is, because I think what we need to remember is that these tech companies,
but some people seem to handle it better than others. People are always, you know, I see friends constantly posting stuff, and I just think that's so exhausting. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, no. The tech companies are purposely manipulating the way companies always have done, you know. It's marketing fundamentally. And Edward de Bernays, who I have a bit of a bee in my bonnet about, who's the cousin of Freud, and the father of public relations, taught people how to psychologically manipulate through marketing to get people to do what you want them to do. And then we think it's us, but it's not. Things like Facebook, they are deliberately designed to make us think that we have to be on there, we have to be checking, we're missing something.
Absolutely. And this is part of my training for next week, because I'm going to talk about Zoom fatigue, because it's like a real thing. And one of the things as well, anyway, connected to that, was less distraction, put your phone off, and how research is showing that it's the reward centers of our brain that are pinging, the little dopamine hits of text, ping, email, notification, and it makes you, it's horrible. No wonder I've been feeling more and more and more overwhelmed. I would look at a message, or I'd get like 3 messages or 5 notifications, and I would just want to kill myself or run away.
I know.
Couldn't bear it, and now I just switch off.
Yeah. No, I get told off mostly by my son. He's, oh, you never pick up your phone. Well, it's because it's always on silent. If it's that important, leave a message, I'll call you. But yeah.
God, Shirley, no, that's lovely. I still haven't got to that stage. And I suppose as well, in giving myself credit, I suppose as well, it's being you know, my mum and my dad used to be in South Africa. Mum is in South Africa. I always feel like I need to be connected in case it's the family.
Oh, of course.
But you know, it's also one of those things, if it's, and what are you going to do about something if it's something? So if you hear about it in the morning or the evening or 2 days later, well, not 2 days later, 24 hours later, does it really matter? But yeah, you know, if my mum rings me and it's not at a time where we said we were going to talk, my heart is in here already before I've answered the phone. So
yeah.
But yeah, the tech companies are arseholes and bastards.
Yeah, I mean, they give us some good stuff, but I have nothing good to say about Mark Zuckerberg. I have to be honest. I think the man is
no, and it isn't all bad. If you think of how technology has saved our ass during COVID, imagine if this was 20 years ago or 30 years ago, when there was no internet and, you know, mobile phones with those bricks and you know, we couldn't do this.
No, we couldn't.
And now the fact that I can go online and look at a potter in Los Angeles doing a tutorial is just, so there's a lot of good.
There is, absolutely. You're
but
right.
I suppose it's just, we should maybe the kids should be taught now how that grips you, that it can be bad just as well as it can, well, healthy and unhealthy, really. How to manage it.
Yeah. I mean, having said that, I'm just adopted a new one. We'll see how it goes. Do you have an iPhone or are you on an Android?
No, I've always been a Samsung person.
I'm an Android person, but I've allowed myself to be compelled to get an iPhone because they have this thing called Clubhouse.
Which does what?
Well, I only went onto it for the first time yesterday, but actually it's quite nice. I don't know how it will pan out in the long term because it's quite new, but it's kind of what Facebook could have been but never was. So it works on the premise of a club. So you invite people. You can only get in if someone sends you an invite. And then you just create rooms. And they're around topics, but basically, you know, I went into a couple yesterday thinking, oh, I'm not quite sure. You know, like sometimes you sit on it, I don't want to get involved. But it is conversational, you know, and you get into, so it's more like the real world. Like,
yeah, that sounds quite nice.
Talk to people. It is quite nice.
So is there an administrator? Does somebody set up a new topic or something, or how are the rooms established?
Yeah, but you can set up your own as well. So you either go into other rooms or you create your own, and it's also nicely collaborative. So rather than on Facebook, it's like, well, this is my, you know, my group and my page, and I don't want you in. It works better if you invite other, you know, say an expert in. So, you know,
I suppose what's different about Facebook is that, I mean, you can be private or friends can see or whatever, but I suppose on Facebook you've got more chance of people dropping in that you don't know, whereas this sounds a bit more, I don't want to use the word exclusive, but you have a bit more control over who comes in, because I think that's the thing about Facebook, some of the comments sometimes, oh my god, you know.
I know. Well, I think that's the other advantage of this one, because to be able to engage in a group or a room, as they call them, you have to do that with your voice. You have to speak up, and so people are less likely to be abusive and do that stuff when they can't hide behind a keyboard.
You mean it's chatting? It's actual talking?
Yes,
real talking. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was really quite nice. I mean, I went into a room yesterday, had a nice conversation, asked a question, got really nice feedback, not just from the person that was running the group, but someone else that was in the group, you know.
So there's a facilitator, because otherwise you all speak over each other and there could be 5 people, 30 people in the group, or...
Yeah, it's moderated. And, you know, I've only been in it a couple of days, but it seems mostly that people behave quite well. You know, they've either got their microphones muted if they want to speak.
Yeah, you're right. You're less likely to get somebody trolling because they can't just sit behind their keyboard and type. Nobody's going to be as horrible as what they are on Facebook. I don't think I'll be changing to iPhone anytime soon, but I'm definitely interested to see how you get on with that. That's a really new way of communicating.
Yeah, well, I'm interested too. I mean, I had a message this morning on Instagram from someone in the States who wants me to join her room, but she's on mountain time at 5 o'clock this afternoon. I said, I'd love to. Don't think I'll be able to. But I mean, that's nice. Someone just said, you know, I'd like you to come to this room. And I didn't feel the sense of, oh, she wants to, what does she want? What does she want?
I love it. Yeah, no, that's quite nice. That's quite collaborative. I like that.
Yeah, it is. So early days, and I'm sure everything starts off nicely, but.
Does your son have an iPhone?
No.
Oh, so you're the only one in the family with an iPhone.
I am at the moment. Well, yes. My stepson in New Zealand has an iPhone.
Because apparently some people were saying it's good, especially if all your equipment is, so if your tablet is and whatever, can do this whole syncing malarkey. But I've just never gone down that route. I've always been happy with Samsung. So.
And I was too. I was more than happy with my Android. It was only because, I mean, I can't believe I just bought a phone just to use this piece of tech. But
hopefully it will be worth it.
Yeah, and actually I'm quite enjoying the iPhone. They are quite good. I'm being reminded of actually this is really clever stuff.
That's what everyone says. Yeah.
I know. I mean, I love Android and it's really cool and it does great stuff. But yeah, you get an iPhone, you think, how do they work out that it becomes so intuitive that you don't need an instruction book before you use it?
That's incredible, isn't it?
You work it out, and I think, how have they done that? Because I know
clever people.
Yeah, really clever. Anyway.
Oh, I hope you enjoyed. I'll look forward to hearing more about it. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's such a me saying that's such a new way of talking. I mean, that's what we used to do in the old days. For me, is actually talk. I've changed. And I suppose it started with my mum, really. I realized a few years ago, I mean, she's 83 this year, and I bought her first smartphone maybe 10 years ago. So she's had lots of experience. But eyesight and the fingers for typing doesn't always work. So I've taught her, and we use WhatsApp, how to send voicemails. And I really enjoyed that. And that's all I get from her now. And I've actually found a way how I can save them and then change them into MP3 so I can keep them for prosperity, really, because I just think, you know, and because we don't do photographs and letters anymore, if she, you know, the day she passes, I'm not going to have letters and photographs from the last 10, 20 years. It's all going to be on my phone and then it will be gone. But yeah, so we do a lot of voicemails, and I've started doing it more and more with friends. And it's so nice to hear somebody's and you can hear the love and you can hear it in your voice. It's really nice. That's cool. All right.
Well, good luck with your program. Not that you'll need luck, it will go brilliantly.
I've been sitting with a hot water bottle. Here's a cow on my lap.
You got a cow behind you as well.
Oh yes, that is an amazing piece. That is a South African ceramicist. She was actually my friend. She passed away 5-6 years ago, and I went to the funeral, and her brother, it's huge. It's massive. It's not quite a cow's head, but it's very big and heavy. And her brother let me pick one from her collection. So yeah. And of course, now the more I do pottery and the more skilled I become and the more I know, I go back to it and I look at it and I think, wow, I'm understanding now what she's actually had to do to achieve that. Whereas before I just loved it and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
I watched
cool.
Great Pottery Throwdown.
Did you?
I just think, I don't know how I just don't get this. This looks really difficult.
Looks so difficult. And, you know, and throwing those big pieces, and a lot of them have never thrown such big pieces of clay. And you really do have to be strong. I know Keith says it's technique, but to wedge all that clay, I mean, the most I've wedged is like 3 pounds, which is, you know, like that much. And that was hard work. And they're doing slabs like that of wedging. And then I don't know how they do it. I love her. It's a good program.
It's lovely. Right. Let's go.
All right. Thank you. That's lovely.
Have a lovely weekend.
Thank you. And don't forget, we're speaking 1 o'clock on Tuesday, not 4 o'clock.
It's in my diary. But
All right,
thank
cool. And I'm just saying that out loud because, I'll
yes, I'm
forget,
glad you
but
did.
at least that way I remember.
Me too.
All right, Shirley, are you still writing more in your book?
I'm
Okay.
editing, I'm doing final edits.
Okay, cool. Good luck.
All right,
Keep
thank
going.
you. Cheers.
I'll see you
Bye.
next week. Bye.
Take care. Bye.